Shalom, shalom, and welcome. Welcome to White Robes family. Before I get started, my name is Symmanayah, and I want to read the following. The information contained on this channel, site, are for individuals who believe they are drawn by the Almighty Creator Yahuah to Yahusha Mashyach, as referenced by John 6:44 and John 12:32. The content addresses end-time realities and what must and will be done by those who seek to do the will of the Almighty Father Yahuah in Yahusha's name. End times are here, and there are three things to accept that are promised by the Almighty Creator: discipline, vengeance, and wrath. Please be advised, this site is not intended for children under 16 years of age. By continuing forward, you agree to hold Symmanayah harmless of any influence in or actions that arise as a result of watching, listening, or reviewing the content presenting. The views expressed do not reflect the owners or management of this media platform. Again, I want to say welcome. Welcome, set apart nation. Welcome, O Yashar'al. My name is Symmanayah, and in this segment of White Robes family, I want to address some things that was put on me as I awakened this morning. Therefore, this segment is about unity. Unity, my brothers and sisters. It is a requirement for end times. It is a requirement for what is to come, for those who will participate in the ranks of the 144,000 in a great multitude. It is written that obedience is better than sacrifice. And I say to you, out of obedience, it leads to sacrifice, my brothers and sisters. I want to bring your attention to the needs to recognize. In order for there to be unity, in order for there to be the things that we believe will happen, we must recognize the importance of obedience and sacrifice. It was as though the Spirit of Yahuah came to me and said, I am Yahuah, the Aleph and the Tah. I am he who manifests his word, my word, as Yahusha. And you are to address me through Yahusha. It was as though the Spirit of Yahuah was telling me that Yahusha reflects the doorway to our relationship to him and him alone. He calmed me and comforted me and told me, do not worry about what others do or think. Do as I say. And he brought my attention to the need to recognize there will be first fruits and first contact. But I say to you, O Yashar'al, consider this. Consider what is written in 1 Samuel. 1 Samuel, 15th chapter. It speaks on obedience being better than sacrifice. Verse 22. In Romans 12:1, encourages us to present our bodies as a living offering, a living sacrifice. Yashar'al, we, as we have awakened, have come into people who are addressing the Almighty Father Yahuah, pronouncing his name using many different variants. The same with Yahusha Mashyach, Yahusha, the Messiah. In order for there to be unity, in order to successfully witness the gathering of a set-apart awakening name, I am compelled to believe the Almighty Father said, I will make straight, and all will come to know me as Yahuah or Yah, in the name of Yahusha. For it is I, Yahuah, says the Almighty Father, who have drawn you to Yahusha, to recognize my word that came in the person of Yahusha, to recognize the virgin birth, the sacrifice, and the resurrection. By addressing me in the name of Yahusha, you acknowledge my plan. And in order for there to be unity, watch, for I will do a phenomenal thing to bring unity among my children. It was as though the Spirit of the Almighty Father said, each of us must look and ask ourselves, whatever name we have grown accustomed to using to represent him, are we willing to let that name go and embrace Yahuah as the Almighty Father? Are we willing to let the names that are outside of Yahusha go and say it is Yahusha Mashyach that is our Messiah, that it is Yahusha, Yahuwah's word manifest in the person, Yahusha? I say to you, my brothers and sisters, what are we willing to let go? As end times progress, we will come to realize, my brothers and sisters, there will be sacrifices to be made. I ask you, O Yashar'al, if we look and see phenomenal things begin to happen, will we grow to realize those who are being drawn and led with precision by the Almighty Father? Or will you hold on to, this is my position, this is the way I want to pronounce his name? It was as though the Almighty Father say, watch, choose the name that you believe and watch the rewards that come. Watch the actions that come. Watch the instructions that come. Watch the results. For some, as discipline come, it will bring correction swiftly. For some, as discipline come, it may be sickness. And for some, it may be death, to make way for those who use the name in unity. You see, my brothers and sisters, it's written that there are times to deliver one to Satan for the destruction of the flesh, that the spirit may be saved. And I say to you, O Yashar'al, when we walk in disobedience, when we kick against what is right and what is true, we find ourselves moving towards the hands of the enemy for the destruction of the flesh. Pray and watch. This is real, and we will see this happen amongst us. My brothers and sisters, in communion and prayer, I believe the Almighty Father said to me, tell my children, talk to my children about first fruits, first contacts. There are some things we must grow to recognize in order to be as first fruits. The 144,000 in great multitude, many will be indeed considered first fruits. Those who get it quicker than others, those who respond faster than others. It was as though the Almighty Father says, in time, we will come into unity by my hand, says the Almighty Father. And he brought my attention to first contact. What are the first contacts that we receive from one another? And in prayer and communion, I believe that the Spirit of Yahusha said, sight, what we see. Hearing, what we hear and listen to. These are first contacts. So a person will look at how an individual uses salutations, how they use Yahuwah's name and Yahusha's name, them being both one, Yahusha representing the virgin birth, walking among us, the manifest word of Yahuwah, the sacrifice and resurrection, the plan, the doorway, the gateway, to restored fellowship with the Almighty Father. First contact, what do they hear? They hear the salutations. Are we saying Yahuwah? Are we saying Yahusha? Are we saying something else? How do we look? How do we dress? I believe the Most High also said, in dress and how we look, There's an issue regarding zits and fringes. And I'm compelled to believe that the Almighty Father said, the things that dangle from your waist, the cords that dangle from your garments, are incorrect. My instructions for Yashar'al was to hem your garments neatly and sew the hem with a purple, a violet cord. And it is man who decide to distort it by saying, let's make something bigger and more attractive. And they came with the phylacteries dangling from the garments. They came with the cords from the four corners of your garments, dangling from your garments. And I believe the Almighty Father said, no, my instructions were to hem your garments. The edge of your garment is the fringe of your garment. And to hem it, sew it with a cord of purple, also known as violet. And then I began to ask in prayer, how then are people saying blue? How did it become blue? Through language, through different translations, through man's interactions, they made it blue. And so then one would say, well, how did you become convinced that it is violet or purple? I say this, O Yashar'al, to get violet or purple, you mix blue with red. Blue and red gives you violet. It was as though the Almighty Father was telling me blue, the color of the sky, the color of water. Blue, representing my word. And red, representing that you're able to hear me by the blood of the Lamb, by the sacrifice and blood of the Lamb. So if you take my word and the sacrifice, bringing you into restoration with me, you get purple, you get violet. Now some may say I'm reading into it, but I say this, O Yashar'al, an endless flowing water, an endless flow of instruction and awareness from the Almighty Father comes out of obedience. So I say to you, as end times ramp up, will you release the garments? Will you relinquish the garments that have fringes dangling from them, little cords dangling around? Will you relinquish zits, the four cords from your waist? And will you move to hemming your garment, the fringe, the edge of your garment neatly with a purple cord? My brothers and sisters, there are many things that we have adopted. We have expensed a lot of time in doing so. We have spent money, time, and effort. We have put up ministries, recordings, and videos showing this. And many people are adamant and believe that they are doing what is right. Pray and watch as extreme humbling times come. The chosen leaders of the Almighty Father will indeed confirm that it is the hem, the edge of your garment, that must be hemmed with a violet or purple cord. There was man who said, well, mine are bigger than yours. And they began to start straying away from the whole importance that this was done to remember and be mindful of the orders from the Almighty Father. Another thing, when it comes to first contact, what do people see? Are we wearing garments with embroidery, the name of Yahuah or Yahusha, whether it be ancient or modern? Are we wearing garments with menorah on it? Are we wearing garments with our name embedded on it? I'm compelled to believe that the Almighty Father say, I will order those that I gather to come to me without the embroidered names, without emblems of our communities or camps or ministries. I will order the embroidery, pictures and stitches to be removed from the gathering of my set-apart children, for they are a distraction. Even if it's a Hebrew name, one is distracted, looking, trying to figure out, well, how do you pronounce your name? One becomes distracted. And there are those might be saying, Symmanayah is creating his own walk, his own talk. I say this, O Yashar'al, remove the embroidery garments, No matter what you have embroidered on it in terms of names and symbols and pictures and emblems, remove them. Let them be plain. Let the garments that you wear be made from things that grow naturally, whether it be cotton, threads from cotton, whether it be linen, whether it be threads made from other natural growing things. First fruits, first contacts. There will be some changes, my brothers and sisters, to bring unity. I know this may seem a hard pill to swallow, but I say, O Yashar'al, choose as you may. Consider this. Consider this, my brothers and sisters. It takes a time. It may take a little time, for sometimes in leaning forward, the camera will get out of focus. It may be your choice, O Yashar'al. It may be your choice to ignore or comply. In Revelations chapter 2, in Revelation chapter 3, we see where it mentions, remember where you've fallen. You see, my brothers and sisters, many of us had a point in time where we came to know and recognize the Father in the name of Yahusha. We came to recognize what it is to be born again. We came to recognize the things that are set apart. In such a way, we were confident that we had discovered the right path towards set-apart living in a relationship with Yahusha Mashyach. I say to you, O Yashar'al, before we started putting embroidery emblems, before we started putting cords dangling from our waist, whether before or the fringes, as one would call it, what was important more than anything was discovering the Almighty Father through Yahusha Mashyach. Remember how it started. Remember what you've read. Be mindful. Yes, the written text has been tampered with. You see, Yashar'al, there are those that will try to discourage you. See, the enemy from the beginning wanted man to embrace something so they can say, I got it. I have it. I don't need anything else. I have the book. As simple as that. But this book has passed through many hands and many committees and many individuals who have tampered with it and changed things. I have always wanted you, said the Almighty Father, to lean on me, to seek and discern my voice. In the name of Yahusha, this is my goal, said the Almighty Father, for you to lean and always depend on me. It is the wicked one who wants you to think that if you have something in your possession, then you don't need my attention as much, said the Almighty Father. Pray and watch. Many will admit that there are versions of the scriptures with different labels to hide the true name of the Almighty Father. There are versions of the scripture that use the moon to hide when a month begins. They will say new moon when it should be new month. My brothers and sisters, there are tamperings, and it is the Spirit of the Almighty Father that will make it clear with proof and evidence. Consider the story of the Tower of Babel. There was once one language, and it was the Almighty Father who tore the tower down and caused man to be scattered with multiple different languages. You see, my brothers and sisters, because he wants us to lean on him, it is through discerning what he is saying and how he is guiding us that we're able to navigate among one another Even when there are different languages, there are ways and means to communicate the very basics of life, the very basics of actions, including set-apart behaviors. Yashar'al. How much are you willing to hold on to the name that you have? How much are you willing to hold on to the cords dangling from your waist when it should be a neat hem with a purple thread? How much would you hold on to the 4 cords dangling? How much will you defend zits or fringes as you believe they are to be? Pray and watch. Remember the choice that you make. For I, says the Almighty Father, promise discipline for my children. So the choices that you make, said the Almighty Father, will be visited with my response to you. Phenomenal things are coming, and it will bring unity, my brothers and sisters. It will. Whether we are aware or not, unity will come. Sacrifices will be made. Yashar'al. Consider this. Do you know somewhere along the line many of us have gotten, or I shouldn't say gotten, have joined various camps and groups and communities. And over time, the things that have occurred in our experience have led us to lean on those experiences and teachings and beliefs. And in some cases, the beliefs have become so tough it has made us strong, and we will not let go in our mind. But as the Almighty Father brings us to unity, we will witness what is true. If you notice at the bottom of this video, you see where it talks about the last being first and the first being last. My brothers and sisters, if you look at life, at what has been occurring, there are those who stepped in this walk many years ago. There are those who stepped in this walk. There are those who have developed certain habits and behaviors as they believe they are taught or as they believe are true. And then there are those who are newly coming into this with access to technology and ways to research information. And they're discovering the truth. Just like as we discovered coming out of these pagan assembly places, the truth. They are discovering the truth as it relates to fringes and zits, as it relates to embroidery. And there are those who have been in this walk for a long time whose eyes are waking up because they have been renewed by the power and might of the Spirit of Yahusha. We who know what it means to remember where we've fallen, we who know what it means to go back and recognize where or how we faltered into a belief or a teaching. And I say to you, O Yashar'al, the newborn and those who are renewed and made anew by receiving and yielding to reproof and correction will rise up together in unity. Stubbornness will have no place among Yashar'al as we find unity developing. Yashar'al, I know this is a hard saying, a hard thing for people to want to accept. So I say to you, pray on these matters, my brothers and sisters. Pray on them. I know it would probably seem very difficult. How did the person who's last become first? And how did the person that was first become last? obedience is better than sacrifice, for out of obedience comes sacrifice. What are you willing to let go? Teachings and practices, we know all that we're seeing, even though the things that we see that are common amongst the different camps and groups doesn't make it right. End times will make right what is expected of us. And I think I've said enough about unity, but I would say this, my brothers and sisters, there's more. For I know one of the biggest questions that one will be asking themselves, how do I determine out of all this noise, how do I accept and identify what is true in spite of all the different things people are saying, in spite of all the convincing words from individuals? I said in times past, I will say again, seek to discern the individual that can provide you with endless water as they receive it. Seek to discern those who are bringing you information that does not contradict themselves. You see, there's a lot of walking contradictions. If you discover someone that is responding in such a way that they're bringing information as flowing fresh water that connects and bring about a stillness within your spirit, then that person may indeed be one of the chosen. On that note, O Yashar'al, stay tuned, for I have something that I will present even more so regarding how do you determine which shepherd, pastor, or if you are indeed a shepherd or pastor or more, how you will be able to determine what is true and what is right in the midst of all the noise. Stay tuned as I bring you the next episode regarding some things that will contribute to stirring your spirit to where you just may receive the truth as the Most High would have it be. Until next time, stay tuned. Shalom.